Hello and welcome to Lab Chronicles, the podcast where we dive into fascinating world of laboratory science, research and safety. I am your host, Samuel Otieno Mumara, and today we are exploring a critical topic for anyone working in around laboratories, laboratory acquired infections, or LAIs for short. Whether you are a seasoned lab technician, whether you are a student, or just curious about science safety, this episode is tailored for you. We'll cover what laboratory acquired infections are, how they occur, notable cases, and most importantly, how to prevent them. Let's get started. So what exactly are laboratory acquired infections? Simply put, they are infections that occur as a result of exposure to pathogens while working in the laboratory setting. This can be bacteria, viruses, fungi, or even parasites. Lab-acquired infections are not a new phenomenon. They have been documented for over a century, with early cases often involving researchers working with infectious agents like anthrax and smallpox. According to CDC, the risk of acquiring an infection in the lab is relatively low if proper precautions are followed. But when things go wrong, the consequences can be severe, not just for the individual, but potentially for the community as well. Now, you might wonder, how do laboratory workers get infected? Most laboratory acquired infections result from, number one, direct contact with infectious materials such as blood, tissues, or cultures. Number two, inhalation or aerosols or airborne pathogens, often from centrifuges, pipetting or spills. Three, accidental needles, sticks, or cuts from sharp instruments contaminated with pathogens. Number four, inadequate containment measures. This normally includes poor biosafety practices or failing to use personal protective equipment. One summarizing fact, many lab-acquired infections occur without a clear incident, no spills, no visible exposure. This is why stringent safety measures are critical. To give some context, let's look at a few real-life examples. In the 1978 smallpox incident in the UK, a medical photographer contracted a smallpox from a laboratory working on the virus. This tragic event resulted in a global review of lab safety standards. Number two is SARS outbreaks in 2003 and 2004. Multiple lab workers in Asia were infected with the SARS coronavirus due to improper handling of specimens. And then we look at the third one, where the anthrax case of 21, which although did not directly on AI case, the anthrax letters highlighted how mishandled pathogens can escape the lab environment with devastating consequences. Now, let's shift to prevention, because preventing laboratory acquired infections is not just important, it is essential. All of us know. Here are the golden rules. Understand your pathogen. Know the risk group of the microorganisms you are working with. For instance, pathogens are categorized from risk group to risk group 1 to risk group 4. Now, risk group 1 refers to the lowest risk refers to the highest risk category. Adherence to biosafety levels or BSLs. These are safety protocols ranging from biosafety level 1 to biosafety level 4, depending on the pathogen's risk level. Follow the appropriate guidelines for your lab. Personal protective equipment. Now, gloves, lab coats, goggles, and masks are not optional. They are lifesavers and therefore they should be used. Sterilization and disinfection. Use autoclaves, use UV lights, and chemical disinfectants to eliminate potential contaminants. Training and drills. Regular training ensures that everyone in the lab knows how to handle emergencies, spills, and exposures. Vaccinations for high-risk pathogens, like hepatitis B or rabies. Vaccines can provide an extra layer of protection. As we wrap up, remember that lab-acquired infections are preventable. With proper knowledge, vigilance, and adherence to safety protocols, we can create safer work environments for everyone in the scientific community. If you work in a lab or know someone who does, share this episode and start a conversation about lab safety. Education is the first step towards prevention. Thank you for joining me on Lab Chronicles. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave us a review. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.